So first experience I had, sexual experience with a vice principal that I went to school with. And then second experience, I was at this lodge. It was like a lodge when I was in Kenya going on safaris with my dad, and it was my father and I and my friend who I believe is currently in the hospital right now. And she had, her ether, her crown, looked like a set of really thick, fuzzy locks. And they were done in a set like, they were pine cones, essentially. Like they were all sticking up. I'm not saying they were pine cones, but they were all sticking up like that. And then, the waiter came and asked what we wanted to eat, and this person masquerading as my friend said she wanted the ravioli, and my father said something like that, like he wanted that too. And then she asked what I wanted, and I wanted to see what else was on the menu. And so then the menu was flipped over, and there wasn't even any food on that side. It was just drinks and stuff. So then flipped over, and she took the menu and just went to get the food. And that was just, let's say the tell that this wasn't this part of the simulation. I don't even want to say the real world, but this wasn't the physical. So after that, when she came back to get the food, it was a pill. Like she brought medication. And my friend, her crown, immediately went from, I shouldn't say immediately, but I saw it transition from it being natural to it being a wig. And it was a very loose textured wig, like she was a Caucasian woman, or mixed type of hair. So that was that experience, and I just thought it was really bizarre because of the pill, especially after the night before, literally yesterday, having that experience in the hospital with the two parentals. So that was that experience. And then it was my brother, my father, and I, and this other woman who was brown skin, maybe a little caramel, and we were all going somewhere. We were walking in this town area, and in both experiences, Kevin, this Rothschild, ended up making these comments that, I'm not gonna say degraded me, but just pushed me aside, like what he thinks doesn't matter, but I'm doing it in a way so that he doesn't pop off. And we then got in the car. My parents, they have this red minivan. So we get in the red minivan, but the tell, let's say, that this wasn't in the physical, was that two of the seats where I sat and where this other woman sat were facing the back window. They weren't facing the front. And then my brother, his was facing the other way, I believe. But we were all in there and we were all talking, we were all chatting. And we were just leaving the area that we were in. But we were having a good time, let's put it that way. Between my brother and I. But the place we were leaving, that was not a hospital, but we were just heading back wherever we were going. And then that fourth experience I had something to do with hospital again, but I need to make a video on sound. There's definitely a relationship to sound, I believe, and vibration, and getting us to forget what the heck happened. Because there's been times I experience stuff and then I get pulled or sent back to my body. Let's say sent back to my body, and all of a sudden car honks, that can happen once, twice, whatever, and the memory starts fading, and I'm now like here in the physical. And it's within that time, like the very first experience I had, that memory just got, a part of me wants to say deleted, but moved to a part of my mind where it's more difficult for me to access. And the very first one I had before, it was like the school, it was like with the principal, like I had just a full day. Like I spend the day down here brushing my teeth, getting up, when I was younger, going to school, and then doing all this stuff. Like I did that in the very first experience in the Astrals, and then it got moved to a part of my mind. I'm gonna, using air quotes, delete it. And I heard that car honk, and it's like it got stored somewhere. It's just difficult to fully access. And then I had the other experiences, but yeah, definitely very interesting. Ordering food, ordering ravioli, and you get that medication. So, and that woman, the dark-skinned black woman, not masquerading as my friend, who is also a dark-skinned black woman. And then the way that, that the one that was masquerading as my friend was a light brownish blonde with some like blonde highlights. But the waiter, I believe, was this woman that I saw, outside of this grocery store that I shop at sometime last year. And before I moved into this house, so before the 22nd, I had an experience with this man, this dark-skinned black man, who was leading that part of my consciousness and astral body into a hospital. And that situation was blue. And this one, even though it wasn't, let's say, blue, it felt like water a little bit. I wasn't in water, and I wasn't moving through water, and my body wasn't watery, but it was just more light, let's say. But I had that with the black man from that previous experience, way before because those two were the ones outside of this grocery store that were just staring at me. And it caught my attention because, they're dark-skinned like me in Fort Collins, Colorado, which not many people that look like that, and if they are around, it's noticeable to me just because of how white and not diverse things are. But then it was the action that they were just staring and chose not to wave or say hi or anything. And I was about to wave, but something deep inside in my body told me not to. So I just took in the information and then, went back home and put my groceries away. But now I am getting the answer as to why my body told me not to wave. So those are the experiences. And yeah, that one, again, with the principal, vice principal, part of his consciousness, it was just, let's just say he was having fun using all of that sex magic. I'ma just leave it at that. And I think because the less, let's say sexual thoughts I have in the physical, and more aligned I become of just trying to get back to balance, the more that part of me experiences and remembers events that go on where I am being manipulated, and then have led to me coming back in the physical, reflecting on just how many of those thoughts and feelings I had when I was younger that truly did not come about organically from me, fully myself, just manipulation. Anyway, this is the little snippet video that I have for today. Yeah, we'll see if I make any more during the day, but I literally just turned over and began filming. But I just find it really interesting. Again, she ordered the cheese ravioli, and what was brought was medication. I mean, that's wild to me, but I think it's just hinting at them trying to move forward with where they want me to go. And you've seen how in these TV shows, how in all this reality that they put through the television, because they have to tell us the truth, when these characters with supernatural abilities take this medication, it suppresses their natural gifts. So, anyway, those are my thoughts. I'm gonna end this video here, maybe refilm it, I don't know. And I want to send peace, courage, protection, and divine cosmic love for all 9 ether beings, remembering who they are. Peace.